There, Angela Loria from the Author Incubator. I am here with best-selling author Sharon Pope for our Ask a Best-Selling Author series. And today I want to talk about before people come to the Author Incubator, many times they have written books with other, they've actually written books on their own and published them with other publishing companies. Or they've looked at other publishing companies. There are a couple of kind of big self-publishing companies in the space where often they'll talk to them before they talk to us. And I know in your case, you actually had written a book on your own and published it with someone else. I want to talk about the difference between working with the Author Incubator and publishing with Difference Press versus maybe some of the other programs people might know about. Talk about your first book experience.
So my first book experience was part memoir, part self-help book, and it was, one of those that took me like 2.5 years to write, because I would just write it, when I was feeling it. And then I set out to go the self-publishing route. I extended the umbrella of trust from a major publisher to their arm that self-publishes books.
And many major publishers do have self-publishing
Absolutely.
arms. Did you look at other options?
I did. And that was really it was the trust factor. That was the reason why I chose that. And they specialize in self-help and things like that. And so I thought that would be the way to go. And so I did that. Now, I was just becoming a life coach then when that was being published. I think I'm still in training.
So when you're talking to them, you told them about your idea, you talked about your goals, and they're like, yes, this is the right book. Did they vet the idea?
No.
Oh.
No, the book was written.
How did you know you were writing the right book?
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Oh.
Right? And that
bummer.
Was, right. So, so the book was written. Then I go to them and say, here, publish this. They edited it, and then published it. That process took them 9 months.
But what if the book wasn't going to work? When were they going to tell you, hey?
No, that wasn't part of the
So if you handed them the phone book,
did not matter.
They would have
did not matter. They said it is, as self-publisher, as a self-publishing author, it is 100% your responsibility to write whatever you want, publish whatever you want, but so and then unfortunately it felt to me like the business model for them was to sell authors more stuff. More marketing stuff.
So first you bought the initial package, then they have your book, you're kind of locked into working with them.
Yep.
And if it's not going the way you want, the answer is buy more stuff.
Well, the answer was buy more stuff before it was even published. But then even after it was published, it was pretty disappointing.
So if you compare
it was night and day.
If you compare your revenue, you've done 4 books with Difference Press.
Yes.
If you compare your revenue, let's say from any of those 4 books to the revenue from the first book.
So that first book has been out 3 years.
Yeah.
I make in my soulful truth-telling books like what I've made in that 3 years in the first 6 months for a book that I published through Difference Press. But it's not the money. It's not the $1 I get per book or whatever it ends up being. It's about helping to build my coaching practice.
Yeah, so how many clients are coming through that first book?
Oh, none. Now, some of the people who find me through the Soulful Truth-Telling book see that book and they're like, oh, let me find out all about her story, because that's where you get all the dirt on me, was that memoir. And that's cool, it's fine, but it wasn't written to get clients. It wasn't written, it was just written because it was like a typical, here's all the things that I want to talk about. Here's all the things that I want to say.
And tell me about the support you got from that team. Obviously, it's a well-known brand, a well-loved brand, one of my favorite brands. How did their publishing team take care of you and support you through the process?
It was incredibly disappointing. It was pretty bad. I mean, so just to take an already written book, edit it, publish it, was about 9 months. It would take every email that I would send, they would put on the bottom, we respond within 14 days to an email. So there's a lot of lag time in between there. And then, so I bought this big marketing package. I mean, let's just say it. I paid $13,000. They said they were going to write a press release. They did 6 months after the book was published. So it's not, like, who's going to pick that up? It's not news.
Never.
They said they were going to build a website for me. Still, there's no website. Like, it was pretty, I had a pretty bad experience. So coming here and then clearly I like this process and it really works for me because I've written, 4 more books.
So 2.5 years to write the book, 9 months to publish it, at least a $13,000 investment. Compare that to doing 1 book with us. How long is that process?
So anywhere between 3 days and 13 weeks. Let's say the max is 13 weeks. And
your investment's tricky because you've made a year-long commitment to writing a series.
Right.
But probably if you divided by the number of books, nowhere close to $13,000.
Oh, no. And then I get all of the mentoring and everything with it. So it was kind of a no-brainer. And this is something that I remember. So I had just published my memoir, and that was when I met you. And you just said to me, okay, well, when you write your next book, let me know. And I had no plans to write another book. But we were, on Facebook together. We were friends. I didn't know you, but so then I got this idea of, I know what I'm going to write. And so I reached out to her on Facebook, and I said, okay, I know what my next book is going to be, and it's actually going to be a series. When should we talk? And I thought for sure you were going to say, go write the book, and then come back and tell me. And you said, right now. And I was like, what do you mean right now?
I haven't even written the book.
Right. So that alone is a huge, huge difference. Most people want to go write the book and then I've got the manuscript. Do something great with it. As opposed to thinking about it up front. Right? And getting really clear about who you're serving, what you're writing, what your intent is, and what you want to get out of it.
This is why I market so crazily. Like, I know there's like a ton of content I put out because I want to catch people before they start writing, because once you've written, it's too late. And then they call me, they're like, I finished my manuscript. I'm like, great, would you be comfortable throwing it all out? It's probably the wrong book.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much for sharing your story. If you have worked with the self-publishing arm of another traditional publisher or another self-publishing service and had a great experience or a terrible one, share it in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. And if you know somebody who is considering working for or paying for publishing of a book that they've already written or plan to write, share this video with them. Click the share button and then do share as message and send this to them directly. We really want to make sure they know that there is a way that they can get their book done that will change their life and change their business, and we want to catch them before they publish it the wrong way.